Timothy Loringer is a pilot and a consumer attorney with Wisner-Baum, a national disaster law firm. Thank you so much for your time this morning. So you've worked as an airline mechanic, including the Marine Corps and Navy air stations. The big question here is, how does something like this even happen with the loose bolts? How does it even get past inspection?
That's the big question that the FAA is going to want to answer. That's why they've announced that they are increasing their oversight over the Boeing production line. They want to go in there, take a look at all of the procedures that they have set up to make sure that every step in the manufacturing process is followed, including not only just, for example, installing these doors and installing the bolts that hold them on, but having quality assurance people follow up and make sure that it's being done properly. And it appears that that has broken down.
So Boeing has had a history of issues with the 737 MAX jets. It's not just this incident. What will FAA investigators be looking at in this investigation that is different than what the NTSB is looking at?
Both of those, government organizations have different roles. I mean, together they are looking to ensure airline safety for passengers. The FAA's job is to look at the aircraft itself and to see how it's designed and to make sure that it meets all of the standards that the FAA sets for safety of flight. You know, how each of the systems works to make sure that the aircraft is safe. The NTSB looks at, unfortunately, they come in when something goes wrong. Their job is to find out why, what exactly happened. And then when they finish with their investigation, they make some recommendations for safety. The FAA will be looking very deeply at the processes of how these aircraft were manufactured and built. They'll be going to the production line. They'll be talking with people who had their hands on this particular aircraft and all the aircraft, considering that they're finding loose bolts, for example, in aircraft that have been in service. So it's a very detailed job. It's takes a lot of looking very closely at things, and we're very interested to hear what the FAA and the NTSB have to say.
So if the outcome of this investigation is pretty damning against Boeing, what would be the impact on its future?
It's unfortunate for Boeing that they've had these issues in the recent past. They haven't seemed to be able to dig themselves out of the problems that they created for themselves. Certainly that has an impact on Boeing's bottom line, on their stock prices. It also has a really big impact on the airlines' trust of them. Southwest Airlines is heavily invested in the 737 aircraft. They have shut down their operations for those aircraft. They've been grounded. That is a big problem for them. So Boeing is looking at a lot of issues. And one more thing, not to mention, passengers want to feel safe when they get on an aircraft. And a lot of people right now are shaken by this and are making decisions about travel while listening to the news.
Definitely. Timothy Loringer, consumer attorney and pilot, thanks for joining us and breaking this down. We appreciate it. We'll be right back.
Thanks for having me.